All right. Sorry for the long delay. If anybody was actually waiting, spoiler alert: nobody was. We do have a full house today, though. We do have both other co-hosts.
Full House is 3 of one and 2 of another.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle. Joke's on you. I can swear because the video has been longer than 10 minutes.
That's a good point.
We all know why Kyle he didn't oversleep last week. The real reason why he didn't show up is because he picked the Titans, who lost 100-12. So he was just running scared.
Stop it. Oh my. Is that the worst pick of the year? Like, holy crap, man.
It's the worst pick ever.
It was worth a shot.
It was close.
It wasn't. Not in the slightest.
Very close.
For content, you know what?
Pick the tie.
For content. For content, it was worth it. I'll give it to you.
Anytime any of us have picked Anthem is actually the worst pick of the year.
I still can justify my pick. I will still stand on it. I'll stand on business. They lost by 1 point the week prior to a better team. I'll stand on business that it was not a bad pick.
They're only like 0-27 or whatever all time.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I'm not picking him again, ever again. I don't care how close they play anybody else. I will never pick him again until they win.
Anthem's going to turn into the 2007 Patriots, and you're not going to pick them.
I will stand on business that last pick was not the worst pick we've had. Not good. But.
All right. So we can start out. Let me stream my screen so you can see my spreadsheet. All right. We will start with the fun leagues. The AAL2.
I mean, they're all fun.
Yes. And the leagues the games where the league get canceled and fun. Yeah, okay. Georgia Indians smoked the Carolina Predators 42-19. Jersey Bearcats continue being the best team in the league, beating Steel City 33-0. And the New Jersey Roughnecks beat the Maryland War Eagles 32-8. The Michigan Avengers non-league game didn't happen. And the NorCal 8 didn't happen. So, Jersey Bearcats lead AL2 East. Michigan leads AL2 North, and Georgia leads the AL2 South. So, shout out to those.
All right.
We will see if some of these games happen, and they constantly change on me. So, Stateside Silverbacks versus Tri-City River Gators. I'm gonna go Tri-City.
Yeah, give me Tri-City.
I'll go Tri-City.
Tri-City.
I'll go Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey.
Yeah,
despite one of the greatest names I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, I'm usually tempted to pick off a name. So give me the Roughnecks.
New Jersey. I'll go to New Jersey too. Did you want New Jersey? Sorry.
Kyle went New Jersey.
Yeah.
Did I crash?
I can still hear you.
Oh crap!
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Maybe the stream crashed.
He froze.
Crashed for me for a moment.
No, you're good. Yep, you're good.
Right, so I guess Steel City does have a better SRS.
Turn my camera off because I'm guessing my laptop is not a fan of this. So
that's fine. That's really only seen at the beginning, anyways.
I'm going New Jersey.
You're going New Jersey?
Yeah.
I just want to note with the Maryland War Eagles, that name becomes from because there used to be two teams in this league. There was the West Maryland Warriors and then the Maryland Eagles, and they merged over this offseason, so that's why we have the War Eagles now.
That's a great name.
A phenomenal name.
Yeah. Except it reminds me of Auburn. Gross.
That's fair.
I'm going to go Mississippi.
Give me the Predators.
You can go to the Predators?
Yeah, gotta rep my teams.
They were the minor league team for your Carolina Cobras.
You typed that in for me. I did not pick the Ditties.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
I'm going the Wolfpack. Nice try, Diddy.
No, you're going Predators.
No, nice try, Diddy.
Yeah, Michigan Avengers versus Ohio Blitz.
Oh, Ohio versus Michigan. Give me Michigan.
I gotta go Michigan on principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These games are probably
the Ohio Blitz.
There's like a 90% chance these games are not happening.
Give me canceled.
You're gonna go cancel.
You keep skipping Kyle for me.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm not used to either of you being here. It's been a while.
That's fair.
Canceled is probably the correct choice. So if we're letting Kyle pick canceled, I'm gonna go cancel.
Screw it, I'll go canceled.
Wow, taking the safe pick.
Yep.
Yeah, give me canceled here.
You're gonna go canceled, Nate?
No, screw it. I'll go Valley Savages. I have faith that'll happen.
That's bold.
It's worth double points if they do win.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
give
me
Knoxville.
You're going Knoxville? That's brave. Actually, I don't know. They might have been okay. I guess they were pretty decent. I think they were just in the league with Wisconsin that bumped up their SRS.
Yep.
I'm going to assume that none of those players are still playing on that team, though.
I'll go Peach State.
Alrighty. And just proof that those games happened. Here's my leading source for this league. Indoor football database on Google sites.
Love to see it.
Yeah. All right. On to the AIF, where we had the championship this weekend, where the West Michigan Ironman beat the Corville Chads 75-32. Here is the West Michigan Facebook post about winning the championship. So
my team just always wins, so
definitely the best team Kyle's ever had. But
yeah, kind of.
Do not be deterred. The season is not over, as the Cedar Rapids River Kings are taking on the Corville Chads this weekend in Cedar Rapids. Right. The real championship.
Why though? That's the real. Is it just the runner-up? Kind of.
No,
who gets third place?
The championship was supposed to be 3 weeks from now, but this is the only open slot that West Michigan had in their stadium.
That's really funny.
So they just made whoever won the first game between Coralville and West Michigan, or between Coralville and Cedar Rapids, was who decided who played them.
That's really funny.
So I want to say Cedar Rapids gets their revenge this time.
We're tanking.
Give me the Chads.
Nah, we're tanking for draft picks. Give me Cedar Rapids.
Alrighty. So Kyle won the playoff because he picked the highest point total.
Congrats, Kyle.
And he was close. He was only off by 45 total points.
My goodness.
I'd like to thank God.
Good.
Mickey Mouse, because I would have given West Michigan at least 60 points.
Yeah, well, I just gave you in between. This is what you get for not showing up, Nate.
I get that. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying.
All right. We can move on over to Major League Rugby. Who would like to talk about their game first?
I don't know. Kyle seemed pretty excited about sharing his screen over there like 2 seconds ago.
Screen is open for his tie.
Already up. All right. So, our first tie of the season, of the year, I should say. We have the Seattle Seawolves tying the Rugby Football Club of LA. This game, nice thriller all the way up into the end. So just looking at the key moments here. So LA ties it up with about 2 minutes left. And then right as time's expiring, they miss a conversion.
Womp womp.
Sealing it as a tie. Truly a womp womp.
Yeah.
So just to go over the quick stuff of this. Most of this game was, I feel like this isn't useful to say 74% was, okay, so they had possession 74% of the time, or it was in the territory over here or whatever. It's just weird. This always throws me off.
The graphics weird.
Yeah, it's very
graphic
weird.
Design is their passion.
So it was 4 tries to 4 to 4, and then 3 conversions to 2. So what my presumption is here is one of these tries was up the middle. I just don't understand why the numbers don't line up. I think you said something about an automatic conversion up the middle.
Yeah.
Between the goalposts. So that has to be it in order for it to balance out. But LA was doing a lot better with crossing the gain line. And then other than that, stats were pretty equal here.
Nice.
Yep.
Noise.
Yep. I would say really not much else to cover here.
Okay.
All right, Nate.
We're going to see how angry this is. Hopefully it handles it relatively okay, chat. Because I had technical issues with my main computer, I'm doing this on my laptop, and I would have been forced to log into the website, which would have been a pain in the butt. So we're just going to go over it via a article off the Warriors website. But fun fact, we did take the number 1 spot in the MLR because of this. So
Shout out.
Bunch of bums in the rest of the league. So, but Utah took down San Diego 38-31 in the Storm and Mormons' own building. With just 4 minutes remaining, the game was tied. They got a good run from Cole Simu to put them into scoring position. And Mr. Tonga over here broke a tackle with an inside run before a streaking fan on the field scoring a game-winning try. So, and it sounds like for the most part, it was just a back and forth game. There was a red card in the 48th minute because, of course, there was a typical. Actually, ignore that. We did not. No. That call was totally fair and legitimate. We don't talk about penalties when they occur against my team. So, when they benefit us, we don't talk about it. The refs made the right call there. So really, jumped out at an early lead. They were up 14-0, only to blow it within the last few minutes of the half. And then, within the 60th minute, it looks like they said, "Nice try, Diddy," and they tied it up again. And so it was really Utah was in control, but then they blow it, and then they regain control, and then they blow it again. But they do jump to 8-2, and put them at the top of the standings so far in the league. But they'll be taking on Old Glory on Sunday, so that's kind of what that's looking like. So no major stats other than just the article. So boom.
Alrighty, we will go to my game. I did the Chicago Hounds versus the Miami Sharks, where the Hounds came away with a 14-7 win, so not a very impressive win. But they did make Houndy McHound face probably very happy doggo, so
that's good.
So they won at home. Dylan Fawcett, Luke White, Kirby Myhill, all tied at top with 5 points each, so all 1 try. Santiago Videla led the game in meters made with 65. Our tackle leader was Thomas Casares for Miami. He was also tied with Ronan Foley, also with 19. So pretty much everything was close, kind of as one would expect in a game that's a 1-score game. Also low scoring. I guess Miami did have 30 more tackles, roughly. So there was that. But Chicago won, and that's the most important thing as far as I'm concerned.
Based and W.
Yep. So, other scores around the league were New England beat Houston 36-17. Old Glory beat Utah in their second game of the week. 28-12. So that was the game on Sunday they're talking about. That's because the game that you covered was a game like on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Bruh.
San Diego also played twice, so don't feel too bad.
That is really stupid.
Yeah, so San Diego beat NOLA 45-36 in their second game. So those two teams both split the weekend. Don't worry, last week Anthem played the two games in the week, and they got outscored by 70 points across the two games.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them. They're making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't 100.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So
exactly, you get it.
Maybe one day they'll win a game.
Yeah. So yeah,
didn't I pick them for one of the games on that to say
Maybe.
surely they won one?
Maybe. They lost 60-19, and they lost 31-5. Yeah, if you picked them against Miami. So
horrendous.
I mean, if they were gonna win one, I think that was gonna be the one.
So you had the Anthem pick and the Corpus Christi pick in the same week.
Yep.
Generational. Kyle.
This is why you.
To be fair, I thought they had a chance.
This is why you overslept in quotation marks.
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Utah does lead the league right now in points. They also lead the league in SRS. And they're tied with win percentage with New England and Chicago as well. But there is point differentials between all three teams. Some stat leaders. Here's all the boys. Lots of Utah here. So kind of expected as the top team. Lots and lots of Utah. So on to the making our picks. I'm gonna go NOLA.
NOLA by 50. That's not a condition. I just.
No, it's a condition. It's a condition. Give me Sharks.
It definitely is not.
I'm going Sharks. I'm gonna go Shy down, even New England, even though New England is the better team.
I'll go New England.
You go New England.
Yeah, give me New England here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go San Diego.
I don't know anymore.
San Diego.
I guess I'll go San Diego too.
I'm gonna go Rugby
LA.
Give me LA.
And I'll go Utah.
Get me the Storm and Mormons.
Give me the Seawolves, and actually, I want to walk it back. Give me Anthem. I can't help myself. I really can't.
Yeah.
It's like crack. You're hooked.
One day I'm gonna be right.
You should drive down to Charlotte so you can just tell Anthem that you're their biggest supporter. You keep picking them in pick'ems.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's an automatic loss every time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna win eventually. I just feel it.
They have to win eventually, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Technically, they don't.
Yeah, they could fold. They could fold. All right, now we can move on to the NAL.
All right. Well, Kyle's
Kyle's
getting
still
a little
streaming.
too excited. So
we had the Wheeling Miners at the Colorado Spartans. This game started in the first quarter with the Wheeling Miners offense scoring all 14 points, followed by a nice 25-17 lead at the half.
Hey, you don't know if their offense scored those two. It could have been a deuce.
Oh, you know what? Fair.
Good
I
point.
I really forget deuces exist. I guess we'll find out.
It probably was a deuce.
Yeah, more than likely. That being said, the Wheeling Miners forgot how to play in the second half and got completely shut out, allowing the Colorado Spartans to go on a 24-point run to win 41-25. Some team stats here. Which team was it that scored the two? I kind of want to go and look now.
Colorado. Kicking.
Yep, sorry, Bobby.
One deuce.
Oh, yeah, it was a deuce. It was a deuce. Yeah, nice. But going over passing, Grant Russell, 8 for 18. I always hate looking at it this way. So 8 for 18, 2 interceptions, 115 yards, averaging about 14 yards a catch, and 1 touchdown pass. So not the best performance.
Got sacked twice.
Yep, 2 sacks. And then to Colorado, I'm just going to go through all theirs first. Going to rushing.
He did have 2 rushing touchdowns, so okay.
Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns, so it makes up for the 2 interceptions a little bit, but not quite. But 9 attempts for 30 yards, averaging about 3 a carry for 2 touchdowns with a long of 6. Next best performance for them is Fred Hargrove, 9 attempts for 20 yards, with a long of 9 yards, but with a fumble. Kicking, no field, 2 field goal attempts with 0 completions, and then 1 for 3 on their point afters. So not a great kicking performance by them, but not the make or break for the team as it was. So Andre Sale was 17 for 28, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, averaged 7 yards a pass, with a long of 17. Not the best performance, but it was enough apparently. Let's check out their rushing. So Alexis Rosario was 17 attempts, 65 yards, averaging about 4 yards a rush, with 3 touchdowns, a long of 12. So a very good performance on the ground. Stephen Newbold Jr., 4 for 25, averaging about 6, with a long of 13. No touchdowns, though. Going to their kicking, as you saw before, they have a deuce in the first, and then they were 2 for 2 on their field goals and 1 for 1 on their point afters.
Okie dokie. All right, Nate.
All right. Just a second. Just really want to make sure I don't screw this up. Okay. So, NAL, Sioux City Bandits, and the Idaho Horsemen battled it out, and Sioux City got that dub, eating W's out here.
It looks like they took out some aggression.
Yeah, so running up the score here a little bit. So both quarterbacks saw some action here. Vernon Reed, 4 for 7, 3 touchdown passes, and 105 yards. So was sacked a couple times, but did have a pretty clean QB rating there. And Tyler Lonestein, 4 for 5, and 2 touchdown passes. So looked like overall for 83 yards, Tyler looked like the better guy overall, at least through the air. And looked like he was just the better quarterback overall, but clearly didn't really matter. So Drew Pashka had a great day, 80 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and Fred Bruno also had a couple of carries, 2 of 3 going for touchdowns as well. So receiving, 2 going to Devon Bland Jr., and spreading the wealth. Drew Pashka being the only guy catching a ball that wasn't a tutty. They get a couple interceptions, 1 more, and former NFL legend Justin Gilbert. Quite a few pass deflections there. No kick return touchdowns, but we know all here in a minute Jackson will lock in and get one. So
yeah,
and we were so based we didn't even have kicking stats. So wild stuff. So Giovanni Sanders is busy. He was 20 for 37, 3 touchdown passes, but as we saw, 2 interceptions as well. Did get sacked 3 times as well. So he was not having a good day. A couple rushing touchdowns. Giovanni had 1 as well. He did have 40 rushing yards on the ground, so at least he had that going for him, I suppose.
I still miss Dawson Schaefer.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Caleb McCallaway led the way with 2 touchdowns and 37 yards. Kyler Henson led the way in receiving yards with 78. So relatively okay production here, at least out of the receiving end. Did, as I mentioned, a couple sacks here, so they somewhat got to the quarterback, Verlin Reed. They did have a pass deflection, but did not force a turnover, so that wasn't helping them out at all. No kick return touchdowns. Obviously no punting, and apparently 0 for 1 and field goal. Who knows if that's legitimate or not?
Man, Idaho still does not have a kicker.
So, well, I guess
2
it is
years.
legit for
It's 2
Idaho.
years, and they still don't have a kicker.
So only allegedly 1 field goal attempt in this entire game. So, and no point after attempts either. So, yeah. So overall, good day for the Bandits. We will take it.
Nice.
Alrighty. I did the Shreveport Rougarou versus the Beaumont Renegades. This is a really good game. Beaumont won the game in the final play of the game to come away with the 55-54 win. Lots of scoring. They put the scoring in wrong, obviously, on this, because this is obviously the scoring after every quarter. But it's a good game nonetheless. Carl Robinson was the leader in passing yards, 169. He had 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, so shout out to that. That was against Guillermo Serrano, who had a pretty good day of his own. 167, 5 touchdowns, but 2 picks, so that's the difference maker right there.
Is this the dagger?
Yeah, it was the dagger. The last play of the game with the dagger. Antoine for Shreveport was the leader in rushers with 49, and then Wilkerson was the leader in receiving yards with 54. So the only other game that happened this week was Omaha winning their semi-pro game that counts, 70-0 over the Dallas Falcons. The good thing that Minnesota Warriors game wasn't the game that counted, because that would have been pretty embarrassing.
For real.
Yeah. I think that if you count that game with the game Beaumont beating Shreveport in the final play of the game, I think that's the 3rd one this season where the final play decided the game.
Yeah.
So anyway, Beaumont leads the American division at 5-0, and then Omaha leads the national division at 5-1.
I don't know. The Spartans are going up. You know, they got it. You know.
Yeah. And once again, the SRSs are all high because they're part of the same SRS listing as the fun leagues in the AIF because there are enough crossover games. Joe, when you think of how bad some of these teams seem, just remember how much better they are than those other leagues.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I was looking for a comment of the week for AFL, and I found one that's kind of wild.
They're probably good. All right, Columbus versus Shreveport. I still believe in my Lions.
Yeah, give me the Lions.
Can I see the SRSs?
Yeah, Shreveport had the higher SRS, probably because they just played Beaumont really close.
That Columbus is at home.
Yes. So
I'll go Columbus.
They're in Georgia. Omaha versus Sioux City.
I feel like I still have to go Omaha. And then Beaumont.
Yeah, give me Omaha. And then, yeah, give me Beaumont as well.
Oof. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, to the AF1.
All right.
File's still up.
Yep. All right. So I'm covering the Southwest Kansas Storm against the Billings Outlaws. This game was a 49-31 win for the Southwest Kansas Storm. We're going to start with the team stats for the Billings Outlaws. So Braden Wingle was 27 for 44. Good completion percentage there. 2 interceptions, 2 touchdown passes, 241 yards, with a long of 21. So that's pretty good. And then rushing, it was only rusher of note was the quarterback, with 3 attempts for 15 yards, averaging about 5 yards, with a long of 15. So in other words, 2 for nothing and 1 for those 15. Moving to, we'll just go to kicking. So Dean Faithful was 1 for 1 on their field goals, and then 2 for 4 on their point afters. Moving on to Southwest Kansas Storm, passing, Jalen Morton was 8 for 23, 1 interception, 1 touchdown pass, 97 yards, and a long of 27. Rushing, they did a lot better rushing. Jalen Morton was 9 for 32, averaging 4 with 3 touchdowns and a long of 14. Logan Wright was 8 for 16, averaged about 2 with a touchdown and a long of 6. Then going to kicking, Dylan Burkhart was 5 for 7 on their PATs with a deuce.
Noise. And Nate doesn't have a game because his team's lost. And...
both of my teams lost, chat.
Yep. Alright. I had my Albany Firebirds versus the Salina Liberty.
What the heck? How did Salina keep it so close?
Because they have Rakeem Cato now.
I missed a lot, chat.
Yeah.
Is Salina back?
So they have Rakeem Cato now, so they are doing pretty good.
We are so back, chat.
Yeah, so this game went to overtime. As you can see, it was a very high-scoring first half, and then things cooled off in the second half. And then Albany came away with the dub, sudden death overtime. Shout out to my boy, Sam Castronova, who was 20 of 31 for 330 yards and 9 touchdowns.
That's my Pookie.
So as you can see, there wasn't much defense. Because if we scroll down over here to my boy, Rakeem Cato, also 28 of 40, 308 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. So quarterback combined for 600 yards and 16 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Goated with the sauce.
Yeah, Cato also had a rushing touchdown, so shout out to him there. I remember back to the days when he was on Montreal and I thought he was the future. It was 2 years, and then he got into a fight with Deron Carter. So, yeah. Other game this week was the Oregon Lightning beating the piss out of the Wolfpack, 37-9, after they lost to the Wolfpack last week. So, who knows with this league. Dalton Cole was your leading passer and rusher in that game, and Ashley was the leading receiver. Albany still undefeated, leading the league in SRS by 20 points. So, Corpus Christi still second in SRS, but they're probably going to go defunct this week. So...
Nice.
So,
hype in the chat.
Yeah.
Good thing you didn't give them to me.
Yeah.
Not like it matters
Good
with
thing
me
I
being
stole them.
down to 2.
Yep. Good thing I stole them. So anyways, Nashville versus...
Albany, easy.
Albany played him close last time, but also Rakeem Cato was the quarterback for Albany last time. Or for Nashville last time.
Yeah, it's Albany, easy money.
But Tyler Kolka is their quarterback now, former Obik Siegel. Also Detroit Ravens quarterback in their one game against West Michigan.
Nice.
Alright, do you want your kitty cats or do you want the Firebirds, Kyle?
You've
already made too many stupid...
Give me my kitty cats. Kitty cats.
You want these kitty cats. Well, John Gruden did just buy into the team ownership group, so
Are you... Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go Billings. They should smoke Washington.
That team ownership.
I'm going Billings. You know? I hope.
Yeah, give me Billings.
If they lose to Washington, they should just fold the team.
Just fold the year. I feel like they're too.
All right, I'm gonna go canceled in this game.
Yeah, give me Oregon on this one.
I'll rock with Jackson on this.
Probably canceled.
You go canceled. Yeah. Or they might play replacement players. To be fair, we might just see Oregon versus the Dallas Lightning or the Dallas Falcons playing as the Corpus Christi Titans. You know.
Yep.
I wouldn't put it past this league at this point. I just realized I didn't go over stats for the NAL, so we'll go back and go over their stats. Carl Robinson's still your passing leader. Drew Proska still your rushing leader. Kyle Henson still your receiving leader. All right. Now we go to the AF1 stats. Jalen Morton still leading the league in passing, but he's probably gonna get past this next week because he signed with Birmingham to be their third string quarterback at least next week in the UFL. He's out there, their leading rusher. Castronova is still your leading touchdown passer, still expected. Dwayne Brown is your leading receiver, but this might also get you mixed up because Darius Prince is now split between two teams. And, yeah, okay. Now we can head on to the Australian football.
Well, Kyle, you're already sharing your screen, so...
All right. So the closest this game was 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the game when Isaac Cummings scored one behind for the Adelaide Crows, and then it was not even close from there. This game ended 110-50. Based on how this went, the Crows were winning enough at halftime to where they didn't even need to score afterwards because they were up 55-22 at the half.
Nice.
Yep, very nice. Moving on to the stats. So let me just look at some of this. Disposal efficiency, free kicks, possession.
Long story short, the Blues suck and they got curb stomped.
Yep.
Yeah. So 16-7 goals, and then 14-8 behinds. So nice, little bit of murder there. A little bit over their averages for Adelaide on the goals and behinds. Obviously, a little bit under for the Blues for the season. Match time, 121 minutes in front, so basically the entire game. I don't think there's really anything else I want to cover here. There's really not much else too because it's a complete and total blowout.
Makes sense. Okay. Yep. I'll run with it, chat.
Yep.
All right. Well, no surprise here. When I'm on, I am glazing St. Kilda because my dad raised me a St. Kilda Saints fan. We're basking in all of our glory in our all premiership, still with a really shiny trophy. Totally didn't win it, in the 60s. So,
yep.
And haven't existed for over 125 years. So we don't talk about it. But it was a blowout. The Dockers are poverty. Lost 94-33. Literally combined have less behinds total than St. Kilda, so pretty embarrassing. St. Kilda had a lot more disposals, more kicks, more handballs, more inside the 50s. They were less efficient in disposing it, but this might be one of the worst efficiencies in the inside 50 I've ever seen. Holy crap, 29.4% is horrendous. And St. Kilda wasn't even honestly that great. I mean, that's pretty standard. So Fremantle, your poverty. More clearances, more stoppage clearances, more won the contested possessions and uncontested possessions, tied in turnovers. You handily dominated the possession battle. It's again one of the biggest spreads I've seen in a while. So won more marks, had more marks inside the 50. But I guess Fremantle won the contested marks. I don't know. So Fremantle did not lead this game at any point in time. Not really a surprise. I guess I had more tackles than that's tied to 50, so good for you, I guess. So, but that's not all for me because we need to stop sharing this. Because once again, I would do comment of the week for a different site, but hey, we're always gonna find the best comments in this league. So we're going to the Fremantle's page here. Shout out to EB Mountain. He's saying he can't make it. Booked an elective lobotomy last Friday night. So RIP.
Yeah.
Shout out to EB Mountain. Hopefully the lobotomy goes well. Nobody was asking for this game. And then, figured I got to find this. This could be losing money with Jackson right here. Over under 50-point loss.
Yeah.
I'm going to rock with the over. I think Fremantle is going to lose by at least 51 points. So, but shout out to our boy here. He's going through some things right now.
Yeah.
Totally wasn't lying about his lobotomy.
Alrighty. We will hop over to my game where I covered my Collingwood Magpies choking their game away to the Geelong Cats. Womp womp, yep. Here's the match timeline. So, it was all Cats in the first, all Pies in the second and third, and then all Cats in the fourth to come away with the 3-point win. The game actually ended on a free kick where the Magpies guy shanked it for a behind and not a goal, and then that's how they lost.
Brutal.
Yeah. So, yeah. Jack Crisp was not crispy. He missed. Absolute womp womp bozo. They did have the top 2 fantasy scores because that's what matters, you know?
All right.
Yeah.
140 is a lot.
Yeah. Brody, my Hawk, with 4 goals, led the goals. Ned Long led with tackles. Other scores from around the league. Eston beat North Melbourne 65-62, so a very good performance by the Kangaroos, but still coming away with the loss. Western smokes Port Adelaide 131-41. Kyle did that game. I did that game. The Demons beat the Eagles 108-76. The Swans actually learned how to play football this week and beat GWS 87-73. Hawthorn kicked the shit out of Richmond 109-44, and Brisbane beat the Suns 66-49. So a lot of low scoring this week by some losers.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
A lot of low scoring this
30,
week.
40, 44, 49.
Yeah.
50. It's bad when the Roos are one of the higher ones.
Yeah. So even the Kangaroos could have won a couple of these games.
More than half of them against the losers, anyway.
Yeah. All right. Magpies versus Dockers. I guess Magpies. This is why that guy was saying whether or not they're going to lose by 50.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What do you want, Kyle? Do you want your Dockers?
Yeah, give me my Dockers.
You want your Dockers?
Do you not have a lobotomy scheduled?
But, I love making my bad picks. I usually pick off team names now. We all know.
That's fair.
We'll see. Yeah, I guess I'll go St. Kilda.
I'm going St. Kilda.
Yeah, give me St. Kilda. Blues did not look good. To be fair, they're playing a top 8 team.
Hawthorn, I agree.
I'm not picking the Demons, so.
You know what? Yeah, give me Hawks. I have to really think about this one. Yeah, give me Hawks. That'd be stupid not to take them. Hawks are playing really good this year.
Okay, Eston versus Sydney.
Eston almost lost to the Roos, so I'm probably going to go Swans.
Eston is not great. They both kind of suck.
I'm going Swans.
Maybe Swans finally remembered how to play football.
Yeah, weren't they in the championship?
Yeah, they were the best team last year.
Yeah.
And they were in the championship, and then they got absolutely smoked by Brisbane in the championship.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, I remember them being runners up, so I just wanted to double check that. Next,
give me Gold Coast.
Yeah, give me Gold Coast.
Western is in the top 8. They're both in the top 8. In fact, Western has a higher SRS.
Who's at home?
Gold Coast, but they have a lot of neutral sites in this league, so I don't know if the game is actually a neutral site or.
I'll go Gold Coast. It's fine. I'll need to see Adelaide. SRS again.
Port Adelaide and then Adelaide.
I'll go Crows.
Adelaide. What to
give me Crows.
Adelaide. Okay, I think this is a tank bowl. Yes, the third worst team versus the worst team.
I'll go Tigers, I guess.
Yeah, give me Tigers. I don't think the West Coast Eagles win this.
Give me Geelong.
Yeah, give me Geelong.
Going Geelong. What GWS? Yeah, I'm going to Geelong.
They're very similar.
They're 10-point SRS difference.
I'm going to go
Brisbane.
Yeah, give me Lions.
If we can't get at least half of those right, chat, we're cooked.
Yeah. Standing top 8, Brisbane, Collingwood, Hawthorn, Gold Coast, Adelaide, Western, Geelong, GWS. St Kilda just outside. If they didn't lose 3 straight games here in the middle of their last 5, maybe they would be.
We don't talk about them, so it's no coincidence that I return and they start winning again. So.
Yeah. And then
you leave, they lose. You come back, they win.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're out for the rest of the season.
Yep. GWS has the best fantasy point scorer. Ben King is your goal scorer. Tom Green is your disposal. Colin Wilkie for St Kilda is your marks leader. Shout out to St Kilda. Tom Atkins, tackle leader. Jack McRae, clearance leader. Shout out to St Kilda again. Latchy Whitfield kicks. Jacob Hopper, handballs. Jordan Sweet with the most hit-outs.
No problem.
All right, on to the Indoor Football League.
We all know I have it up. So first up, that is not the Northern Arizona Wranglers logo.
Shout out to them not having a logo in the system yet.
Goodness sakes.
And not having the records either, but I digress. So the best team in the league, the Vegas Nighthawks.
The Golden Nighthawks, Kyle? Yeah, you forgot your own nickname for them?
I'm just saying they're down 0-1 to the Oilers right now, so they're definitely not the best IFL team. No way. You're losing to a Canadian team.
Anyways,
I get confused because there's also Oilers in this league.
In this league,
The Golden Nighthawks beat the Wranglers 43-37. This game was pretty close throughout. What's the biggest lead here? Is it 36-21, a 15-point lead by the Nighthawks at the end of the third. Choked a little bit in the fourth, gave up about 7, but for the most part, had a pretty healthy lead throughout the entire game. That being said, there are some very interesting stats in this game. So first up, Arizona was 15 for 26 with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a long of 30 for 146 yards. For the Golden Nighthawks, it's Jaden DeLaura, 7 for 13 for 85 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, with a sack, and then Jerome Johnson, 7 for 9 for 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So 4 passing touchdowns for the Nighthawks, with 1 interception. This is where it gets interesting. Neither team was really doing anything on rushing, and or one team was having a complete and total meltdown on rushing. So, looking at Arizona, top rusher, Nolan Susil, 9 for 10, lost 2 yards lost, net 10, 3 touchdowns with a longest rush of 3, which is kind of insane. So he was just kind of punching it at every time. moving over to the Nighthawks, you'll see something very interesting going on. So they had 0 rushing yards.
Shout out to Jerome Johnson.
Yeah, thanks to Jerome Johnson. I am really confused when it comes to this. So he had 6 attempts for negative 40 yards. With a long of 11, by the way.
Yeah, well, he lost 52
so he lost
yards.
52 yards.
Yeah.
Trash.
Which is kind of insane. Yeah. So he had a net of negative 6.7.
I'm gonna take the benefit of doubt as someone who didn't watch this game that a snap went over his head, and he had to go run and get it.
Nah, I'm going bot fumble.
You're gonna go bot fumble.
Well, we can go check defense on this in a second, but here it is. Okay, Wranglers sacks 1 for 6 yards. Is that it? Yeah, there was definitely a butt fumble. You know.
They probably didn't record all stats. I don't know if they didn't
probably.
upload a logo for a team that's been in this league for some time now.
Yeah.
I somehow
I was looking at the team stats.
They're getting lazy.
Like, did they not?
They're getting lazy.
Upload things correctly? I was getting confused by this.
They have to have like some sort of new stat. Somebody new's work at doing this. I'm convinced that
yeah. It is a new company doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that's a poor kicker. 2 missed field goals.
They actually had punts. They did 2 punts for 76 yards with a long of 48. So they were back
definitely put in wrong.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go watch this game as somebody who did give them $30.
This game might be actually worth watching. I have a feeling it's probably because of this stuff that happened.
If this is the kind of effort they're putting in, I'm not giving them $30.
Hey, the streams are pretty good. Just the stat imputation is bad.
It's horrible.
It also worked out because their channel didn't get deleted, unlike some other indoor football league.
That is fair.
So Arizona went 0 for 4 on their field goals. A blocked at 35, a missed at 50, a missed at 29, and a blocked at 51. Insane. And then kickoffs were average 34 and average 41.
I still can't believe there's a guy named Fisher and he doesn't play for Fisher.
Yeah.
He's a disgrace to his family.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Fisher wants him with these stats.
Yeah.
To be fair, 2 are blocked, but you missed a 20.
To be fair, maybe they weren't actually missed and was input as missed.
You know what? Fair. Let's go look. Let's go do some numbers.
No, we don't. We don't need to.
Yep. All right, Nate, just pull up your stream and we'll hop over, and Kyle can do his own thing.
Yeah, there you go. Give it a second here. Why is it not popping up? Hang on, sorry.
It's no brain.
There we go. Okay, so it's a battle of my teams: the Green Bay Blizzard versus the Tulsa Oilers. Speaking of Oilers, I know we're just joking about this, but additional fun fact for all you ball knowers out there: they used to have a hockey team. I'm sure we've mentioned it multiple times. So it just adds an extra element to insult to injury to Kyle that he lost to the Oilers game 1. So Tulsa's clearly superior for those reasons. But Tulsa took down Green Bay 46-30. We're up 27-3, and then said, "Is this the dagger?" And clearly, for a second, it might not have been, but did not seem like it. It was too big of a lead for Green Bay to come back from. So, going to individual stats really quick.
Nick Miller, 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions going to do it for you. Allegedly. To be fair, allegedly. TJ Edwards, 2 touchdown passes. My glorious King putting the team on his back once again. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Tulsa all of a sudden is doing okay because of our glorious Pookie here, TJ Edwards.
They're the Tulsa Fighters.
Exactly. So, totally didn't pooch off Frisco, a.k.a. Baby Gronk supporters. Gross. But Sheldon Argentina, 2 touchdown receptions, a pair of receiving touchdowns for Green Bay. Andre Williams is that NFL running back or Andre? No, there's no.
Probably
I'm gonna look that up. That is not that uncommon of a name, so it probably isn't. And I think Andre Williams is an NFL player. I guess I don't know. We'll see. I'll let the people know in a minute. I don't even know if I'm gonna really bother with the rest of the stats here, team individual wise, because there's just not really.
I would just focus on passing, rushing, receiving.
Yeah, I think that is the plan. Team stats seems like it's at least relatively accurate, so I will trust it. What a shocker! The refs are cheating against my team, but great news, they didn't cheat against my team. So more first downs. Mostly got it through the ground.
Surprise, TJ Edwards.
Yeah, not really surprising knowing who TJ Edwards is. Had 4 rushing touchdowns to Green Bay's 1, so dominated on the ground. So although per rush, Green Bay was a lot more efficient. But I guess that's probably bound to happen when you run it 12 times compared to Tulsa's 27. So, but TJ has had, from time to time issues with being relatively efficient through the air. Was not spectacular, but he got it done. So, 70 yards and a couple touchdowns. So, did have more offensive plays. Did lose a fumble. Okay, I may have lied. I keep forgetting it does penalties up here. I forget that's first downs off penalties, I think. Yeah. These are total penalties down here. So, yeah, no surprise they cheated against my team, but the great news is the refs didn't cheat against my team. So, and then, yeah, like I said, I don't know how much I trust these stats. Miscellaneous I could look at. So, total time of possession. Neither team was efficient on third down. More efficient on fourth down, ironically. But really the big thing that sealed this game was he had 5 opportunities in the red zone to score and went 5 for 5. With knowing who TJ Edwards is, it's not really a surprise. So easy dub for the Oilers, and Oilers in 5. So
alrighty, I had my Quad City Steamwheelers, who beat the Fisher's Freight 55-48 in overtime. So, second overtime for me covering. So, lots of good competitive games for my team. DeQuan Neal, 9 of 21, 100 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not great completion percentage, but efficient on his completions, going 5 touchdowns on 9 completions. Jaya Wright, 6 of 13, 52 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. A lot of rushing from Fisher's Freight. They are a very run-heavy team in indoor football. 42 rushes, 166 yards, 6 touchdowns. To Quad City's 20 rushes for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not much really between that. I'd like to point out that this Demery Croft, who had 1 reception for 15 yards and a touchdown, he's a quarterback. So, quarterback-to-quarterback action there for a touchdown. Yeah. Other scores from around the league were Jacksonville beating Iowa 53-22. Tucson upsetting Arizona in a comeback. So that's probably your Falcons and a Falcon. I'll pull up that game just so you can see Arizona's claps there. And then Bay Area beat San Diego 57-34. So let me pull up this so you can see the game there. So you can see Arizona was up 21-10. I guess 21-13 at halftime. And then they fell apart.
Horrible.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot worse, but yeah.
Just collapsed and lost in the last play of the game. Womp womp.
Brutal.
Considering also Tulsa's awful, it's just kind of even more embarrassing.
I guess it is bad considering who you are versus who you're facing.
Yep.
Is Arizona lost, chat?
The real question is, did Kevin Guy throw the game against the other team he owns? I mean, sorry, his wife owns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely a two-step separation there, you know? Yeah. All right, stat leaders. Jaya Wright is the passing yards leader. Or is he the rushing leader, sorry. Followed by Max Malore and TJ Edwards. Passing leader is Max Malore, Dalton Snead, Caleb Barker. Receiving leaders on the year, Quyan Williams, Isaiah Hootson, Quentin Randolph. So we're going to have to investigate this punting situation here. Andrew Mavis is your field goal maker lead right now. Who's got the long? Axel Perez is along with 48. Oh, pretty fairly impressive long field goal there. All right. Got to go to the pick'em. I'm going to go with my Theme Wheelers over Green Bay.
Yeah, give me Steam Wheelers here.
I'll do the same.
I'm going to go Tulsa.
Then give me the
Tulsa.
Oilers.
I'm going to go Vegas.
Give me my Golden Nighthawks.
I'll go Vegas losing in 5 Hawks.
Oh, hurts.
I'll go the Pirates.
I'll go Massachusetts with their new head coach, Tom Manass, former San Antonio Gunslingers head coach.
Give me Tucson on this.
You want to go Tucson? They did just beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona bounces back.
I'll trust Arizona.
They are playing a good team. I mean,
it's 2-3 versus 2-3. It could go either way.
Yeah. It's in Arizona, so I'm going to go Arizona. What do you want, Kyle? Do you want to try to pick up a game? Bay Area does have the higher SRS, only because that loss to Tulsa killed Arizona.
Yeah, I'm feeling Bay Area on this one.
And I'm going to go Nate Davis in the San Diego Strike Force.
Yeah, give me San Diego.
Yep, Sam. That'll be boring.
Alrighty. And then we'll head over to the UFL.
All right, and I already got mine up, as you know. So a nice high-scoring game between the Renegades and the Battlehawks played in St. Louis. You know, the best stadium in the league.
Yeah, they glazed them. They get 6 home games. It's bullshit.
Yep. Anyways.
How many rings?
Less than you.
How many playoff appearances?
Fuck you. How about that?
How many playoff appearances under 500?
Fuck you. But
how many playoff appearances at 7-3? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So this game was it looks like a close game. It was a fairly close game. Neither team. It was a defensive matchup. Battlehawks scored a touchdown in the second, followed by a Goggles 49-yard field goal. Then the Renegades responded in the fourth quarter, finally, with 2 field goals of their own, followed by another Goggles 52-yarder, I believe. Let me double check that. 53-yarder, 49.
You cut him a yard, you baffle.
Yeah, cut Goggles a yard short, yeah. So going to the offense here, we'll start with the Renegades. Luis Perez was 16 for 23, nice. 145 yards.
Look at that completion percentage.
Yep, very
nice. Max Duggan, wow.
With 1 interception, no touchdowns.
Hey, Luis.
Max Dugan was 7 for 19, 93 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. A nice completion percentage of 36.8%. On the ground, I'm just going to... Day Hunter was 13 attempts for 47 yards, no touchdowns, and a long of 16. As a group, they averaged 3.3 yards per carry, not terrible. For the Battlehawks, the lead rusher was Jacob Sailors, 14 for 57 yards with a long of 11, averaged 4.1 a carry, and Max Dugan at 10 attempts for 49 yards, a long of 37. averaging 4.9. So great averages there. I'm going to skip over receiving here. Anything special? I'm going to skip. Let's go into special teams. Lucas, I don't know how to say that last name, was 2 for 3 on their field goal attempts with a long of 46. Goggles was 2 for 2 with a long of 53, so a good performance by him. Got to cover punting because Marquette King. 3 punts for 155 yards, 51.7 yard average with a long of 55 is pretty great. And then I don't know how to say that last name. Sterling Hoffrichter. 5 for 236, averaging just under 50 with a long of 57, and 1 inside the 20.
Alrighty.
Pretty good there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, Nate.
Good from me.
Alright, well, all my teams are buns this week, chat. So they all lost.
Womp womp.
So I get to pick the best loss of the 3, aka really the only option I had. So DC lost to Michigan 14-38. Pretty mid. We're back to being washed. Tamu back to being good Tamu, maybe. Although the completion percentage is bad, did have 2 touchdown passes.
He just chucked it downfield. He's being Brett Favre.
Yeah, imagine losing to Bryce Perkins. I'm just kidding. Bryce had a good game.
Basically the best quarterback in the league right now.
I know.
I'm
messing.
But Mike Nolan keeps putting in Danny Etling and fucking them over.
Hey, watch it. Patriots legend.
Yeah, well,
Danny Etling.
They didn't play him this week, and then they won pretty handily, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's the Patriot way. You like to make things more difficult. Chris Rowland leading the way of receiving. 9 catches, 144 yards. Did have a 65-yard snag, so love to see that, I guess. Quite a few TFLs for us. They only had 2, so I guess that had 1 sack in the game. Went for Michigan. And then no interceptions. He did force a fumble, but didn't recover it. So no turnovers in this game, at least in that regard. 1 field goal attempted in this game. BT Potter hit it from 45. No special team touchdowns. So there's 1 punt inside the 20. Yeah, that's about it. DC sucks. They're washed and in poverty, and they are confirmed Mickey Mouse.
All right. On to my UFL, where my Birmingham Stallions kicked the shit out of San Antonio. Because San Antonio is hot buns right now.
Yeah.
On the bright side, San Antonio scored 3 more points than they did in the championship game, so improvement.
That is true.
Brighter side. Kevin Hogan, 17-26, 179, no touchdown interceptions. Birmingham's quarterbacks continue to be getting hurt. So they both got hurt and played for each other. They're 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks. But Case Cook has played a lot better than he did last week. 16-23, 166, 2 touchdowns. And Andrew Presley came in and played 5 of 8, 79. They both were complaining about injuries on the mic. So Birmingham's line is not protecting their quarterbacks. They're also not really protecting the run game by looking at this 2.9 yards per carry. But it was much better than San Antonio's 1.8, because Birmingham's defense is cracked. K. Johnson, 61 receiving yards. Amari Rogers, 5 for 5. Deon Kane, 46. Justice Smith was the best receiving performance of the game, though, with 108 yards and 5 receptions. So, that defense, pretty much, yeah. 4 sacks to 3 sacks. 6 tackles for losses to 7 tackles for losses. So yeah, not much good line play between both teams. 7 pass breakups as well for Birmingham's defense. Harrison Mavis 2 for 2. Tristan Viziano with 1 for 2. Long of 26. I guess Destroying doesn't have to worry about losing his job because their other kicker also sucks. But maybe that's in his contract that anybody they replace him with also has to suck. Other scores from around the league was the Houston Gamblers beating the Memphis Showboats 21-20. in a game that went to the wire. So,
DC.
Yeah, I'm going to DC. Jordan Ta'amu. Because San
I'm
Antonio
in first at 14-10. Good
yeah,
Lord,
we all kind of suck.
Chat.
Well, to be fair, my points get carried down because I refuse to pick XFL teams.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me an advantage, for once. This... Give me...
It's not... Dude, I was about to say San Antonio's Bonds. Michigan by 50.
Yeah, give me Michigan.
Birmingham.
Yeah, I'm going Birmingham. Get ready to learn Chinese, Houston.
Yeah, give me Birmingham.
St. Louis. If we don't at least go 3-1 this week, we are garbage, guys.
All right, time to go 2-2.
Yeah, but as they say, show tits, show ass, but most importantly, show votes. Memphis.
That's a good one.
That was pretty good.
All right.
LFA.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Kyle. You're not going first. Nope. Because
no, I'm already up.
I accidentally kicked on Nico Harrison sucks first. Oops.
Yeah, suck it, Kyle. The reason I'm going first is because naturally, going for three straight undefeated seasons. Kyle, joke's on you. You don't deserve to go first because we know the glorious Caudillos are back in action, even though Jeremy Johnson did unfortunately retire.
Yeah.
He did not.
I'm sorry though, Nate. 3-peats are last year. Birmingham already did that.
Okay. Well, congrats. Don't care. Get ready to learn Mexicanese, buddy.
But 3 straight undefeated seasons, however, that could be new.
Yes. So, suck it. And that's going to happen because,
not if my Sheldon Epler had something to say about it.
Yeah, get ready to learn Luzies, buddy. You are the only team I'm scared of in this league as of right now.
You should be scared of my team.
Yeah, bro, no. We're about to find out.
Too bad we changed our name to the Bears, so we suddenly suck into everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Well, this post is not about the Bears or the Blackhawks. About the freaking Caudillos, chat. And 350 total yards. We allegedly held them to 11 passing yards. Something about this does not add up.
Dude, shout out to yards by air versus yards by land. That's
freaking wild. What the heck?
That is hype.
Yards by land. Oh my gosh. And cattle and lost. What is going on? Very confused.
Leaders and kings, yeah.
Okay. Well, at least it looks like our side adds up here. So 351 yards adds up to this, but their total yards is not making any sense. I'm guessing the one was, they may have only had 73 yards. They may have actually added the one.
Or they had 111 passing yards.
That would make more sense.
But
considering they lost by 2, you never. They would have at least one drive of like 30 or 40 yards. Okay. So we're gonna say they had 111 passing. I think that makes a bit.
We can check their passing stats because they actually have their regular game stats. Yeah, we can check it
in a second. No fumbles. Did not allow any interceptions. We did allow 2 sacks, but they allowed 6. So, and no flags.
No punishment.
This is great. I love the way they do this.
Spanish translation. Man.
And here's some history on the rivalry. So, it was the best defensive performance for the Reyes, only allowing 41. The bad news is it was their worst offensive performance. Yeah. So, tickets and details, there they are. You can buy them right here. And here's the location. You can
buy the game that happened on May 3rd. You should definitely buy those tickets.
Let's go. Oh, it's going to make me log in. Does that look like I'm finding player stats? So
I have them up. I can show them.
Okay, separately. Well, that would be great. But overall, had to glaze the Caudillos. We are on our way to another championship at this pace. So, skill issue, Kyle.
All right, yep. Kyle.
All right. So, I'm covering
win versus I lose. Game. That's great.
Yeah, no.
There's a difference.
I love the translate. So, This game may look close, but it was not in the slightest. It was 16-0 up until 16 seconds left in the game. At which point the Raptors finally scored a touchdown and got the 2-point conversion. So total yards, 242 to 195. About even through the air, and a little bit more for the Mexicas on the ground. Points, we already saw those 16-8. Similar first down numbers, 10 first downs for the Mexicas, 12 for the Raptors. Neither team had a fumble. The Raptors gave up an interception, and then the Mexicans gave up 5 sacks, and the Raptors gave up 3. And then it was a lot of penalties on the Mexicans that probably held them back the most in terms of stopping them from scoring more points, but 15 penalties to 6. I know they did get, I think 2 penalties towards the end of the game, so it does skew it a little bit. And then the Mexicans are now 8-5 all-time against the Raptors. Let's go to details. This game happened on the 4th of May at 4 p.m., and then the stadium is here.
Okay. And I had the Fundies, as they are known by their real name, not the Osos. They beat the Dinos 23-9. So 204 passing yards, 91 rushing yards, only allowed 19 rushing yards. That's a big big discrepancy. 5 more first downs. They did have 2 fumbles. Both teams threw an interception. Only 1 sack to 3. And they were a little bit more cleaner. Not giving a 4-7. So shout out to that. Other scores around the league was the Archangels beating the Gallos Negros 25-8. Womp womp to us, thinking that the Gallos Negros could beat an expansion team. Turns out the Gallos Negros suck.
Garbage franchise. Only good for name.
Best team.
Yeah, they suck.
You're just coping.
Yeah.
Holy massive copium. Count the rings, Kyle.
1-2.
So let's Archangels versus the Dinos.
This one's actually kind of hard.
I'm still gonna go Dinos because
give me Archangels.
I was gonna go expansion team.
I'll go Dinos for now, but Kyle could be a genius here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mexicas because I think the Reyes still suck.
I'm more or less taking a risk on the Angels there.
You are, but I mean,
I think it's a fair.
They could be cracked. Beaumont's been cracked in the NAL, and they're an expansion team.
Yeah.
Give me the Mexicas. I expect the Reyes to be the Reyes.
The Mexicas, get it right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Fundies.
Give me the obvious choice here. Give me the Gallos Negros.
Yeah.
All right, give me the easiest Kyle loss in my life. Go Fundies. Fundies nuts.
And then I'm not stupid. Give me the.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
You're gonna go Raptors, right, Kyle? Nah.
I said Caudillos. I'm not that stupid.
Says the guy who keeps picking Anthem.
You've taken Anthem more than once. At least I've only taken him once.
It's like bait to me. I just want the win.
I'm telling you, it's like crack. You can't let it go, but it's so bad for you. It's like crack.
Yep. So standings, obviously, only 1 week, so split between winners and losers.
We're not dead last. That's all I care about.
Chats, yeah, there's 111 passing yards there. So vote by the Reyes, yep. So they had 111 passing yards. Harrison North Robidux for the Caudillos. 248 yards, 3 touchdowns. But less than 50% completion percentage, so he's no Jeremy Johnson. It also says he threw 3 picks, so
we're cooked.
Maybe didn't put the stats in right. He's playing like Brett Favre up in there. The gun in it. Sheldon Epler behind with 204. Xavier Bullock, 185. Who's leading rushing? Joshua Gerard Mock, Danville, Devontae Strong, Billy Reagans. So, looks like good rushing attack by the Archangels. Or perhaps the Gallos Negros just suck at run defense is also a possibility.
They could just suck at everything, so.
Yeah.
Well, oh, wait, they do.
Yep. Worst team in the game. Okay. Caudillos' best leading receiver, Emmanuel Keith Malik Harris, 4 receptions for 132 touchdowns. But he also had a drop, so. Oops.
Lost.
Axel Ariel Montini, 2 receptions, 67. James Joseph Bailey Barina. I love how they just give these guys their full name and all of these. 7 receptions, 64. Tackles. Anybody with multiple sacks. A couple guys with 2 sacks. Shout out to Johnny Hudson. That's a heck of a way of spelling Johnny. I wonder if that's right or wrong. Turnovers, anybody with lots of picks. One guy had 2 picks for the Reyes. So he picked off your quarterback twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skill issue.
Anything different? No. Hey, guy hit a 50-yard field goal. Shout out to that Mexican.
Good for Jesus.
Yeah, praise Jesus. We did have a kick return by the Caudillos. Shout out.
We are still back, chat.
And 2 blocked kicks. One by the Fundy, then one by the Gallos Negro. Alrighty. And you go to Stadias, and by week is how you can get your game 1. And then you can search down by team, and then you'll have only your team or whatever.
Sounds good.
Alright, last thing for the week is that the X League is doing their spring tournaments right now. The week 1 of the Pearl. The Pearl is an actual tournament, and then the Green Bowl is just a round robin. Because it's the East and Central are the Pearl tournament, and then the West is the Green Bowl. The bottom teams got left out from the tournaments, but whatnot. So, anyways, Panasonic kicked the shit out of Elcom. No surprise there. Tokyo beat all Mitsubishi. Nojima beat fake Ohio State. Fujitsu beat the shit out of Oriental Bio. And then I whiffed here, picking IBM over Obic because I thought, oh, they're not going to be as good since Tyler Kolko's playing in Nashville right now. Turns out their Japanese quarterback is also pretty good. So, oops to me. I forgot to do the SRSs on this. I guess it'd be 35, probably to negative 35. So, Obic is playing Tokyo, but there's a 2-week gap, I believe, before those games, so there's even a gap, 1-week gap before this one, but I think Panasonic is going to beat the challengers.
I'll go Panasonic then.
Give me Panasonic.
Yeah. If you need a reminder of how last season went.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know.
No, easy choice. Okay.
Yeah. So that is the end of all our coverage. We just have losing money with Jackson. I need to log in, so excuse me 1 second while I pull that to the side. I think I'm going to definitely lose money this week because I know exactly what I'm going to pick. So, let me go over to American football. Where's American football? Go to the UFL. Click on my Memphis Showboats and put $5 on them.
Congrats, you lost money.
Yep. I believe in my boats.
Nice.
Well, we were ahead, so I had to get behind, you know? I have to keep up with the namesake, you know? We were $3 ahead, so.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the last thing. Does anybody have any closing statements they want to do?
No. Go Stars.
Yeah, only a 90-minute episode, and we wasted the first 10 minutes, so. I think we're substantially quicker than we were last year, because we're only covering one game.
Thank God.
Yep.
And
So,
significantly quicker.
We will talk to everybody next